Hello everyone, I hope you all had a wonderful week. Welcome to InfoScope. I'm your host, Hannah Kim. As always, we have some of the latest headlines from the IT and science world. Let's first take a look at what's coming up on BriefingScope. Last month, Korea celebrated Invention Day, and many inventors gathered to show their unique creations. Among these inventors, there was even a middle school student who presented her work. But speaking of students, we also have another story about different colors of light and how different effects it could have on student performance. Yes, believe it or not, tweaking the color settings of lights can help students study better. How does this work? Well, we'll find out all and more on BriefingScope. New research has shown that creating a slightly blue tint in LED lamps can increase accuracy in solving mathematical questions. Moreover, a slightly yellow tint was found to be beneficial in discussion-based classes. The researchers explained that the mind was responding to the innate pattern of working during the day and resting in the evening. Korea's brightest inventors, from a 15-year-old middle school student to a 75-year-old senior citizen, came together on Invention Day. Transcending generations and genres, anyone can bring their ideas to life and incorporate it into everyday life. New studies have shown that consuming antibiotics can trigger a spike in the number of microorganisms that cause digestive disorders. These microorganisms create an optimal environment for culturing cholera. The researchers hope that their studies can be used to develop drugs that treat digestive issues following the consumption of antibiotics. The extract of the skin of mulberry roots was found to be effective against stress and depression. The researchers held clinical trials with the extract and are now developing health products that can help consumers deal with stress. Stress is a major contributor to diseases and disorder in today's world, and I'm always thinking of ways to relieve stress myself. I have to admit, though, I never knew that mulberry bark could help. Very cool. Now, in other news, we have another secret about nature. When we think of lakes, we usually think of clear water, but some lakes are different colors, anywhere from pink to dark brown. There is a scientific reason behind this, and we will share that with you in just a moment. But before that, let's address an issue that's part of our everyday lives. We all use chemical products on a daily basis, and while they can be very convenient, they also pose a great threat. Even here in Korea, there was a recent scandal involving humidifier disinfectants. It's incidents like this that show us how dangerous chemicals can be, and when they are used without adequate knowledge, it's even more dangerous. Is there a problem with the current safety system, and is there a need for more oversight from the government? We have more on this coming up on Industry Inside.
This is thalidomide, a sleep aid made by a German pharmaceutical company in 1957. The medication became popular after it proved to be effective against morning sickness in early pregnancies. However, there were major side effects. About 10,000 babies worldwide were born with deformities, and only then were sales of thalidomide put on hold. This was a case where clinical trials and post-research did not take place. Another incident involved a shoe spray. Consumers who used this spray since the 1980s suffered from fever, vomiting, and fluid buildup in their lungs. The manufacturer changed the chemicals and attached a warning sign, but there was no end to reports of illness, so the German government belatedly ordered a stop on sales. These incidents are similar to Korea's humidifier disinfectant scandal. Both the government and the manufacturers handled the situation poorly. They focused too much on the convenience of the product and overlooked the safety part.
이런 가습기처럼 그 자체가 직접 접촉은 하지 않지만 그 가습기를 통해서 뿜어져 나오는 분말이 우리 인체에 흡수되었을 때 무슨 문제를 일으킬 수 있는지 하는 그런 독성 문제에 대해서는 사전에 철저히 확인해야 되고.
As distrust in chemical products spreads like wildfire, more and more people are calling for a fundamental safety system for chemical products. The Dead Sea, located between Israel and Jordan, is 10 times saltier than the ocean, and there's virtually no life in the waters. However, what life resides in the Dead Sea is what gives it its unique colors. Australia's Lake Hillier and Senegal's Lake Retba have a pinkish tint like that of strawberry-flavored milk. The microscopic algae living in the lakes create a red tint while absorbing sunlight. Given the extreme conditions, there are no creatures that feed on the algae, which can then flourish and dye the water in a pinkish color. Lakes made by volcanic eruptions have different shades of water due to absorbed magma or minerals. Some have a red shade due to an abundance of iron, while others are green because of sulfur.
박테리아라든지 또는 미세조류, 그리고 주변에 이제 화산 활동이라든지 지질에 의해서 어떤 독특한 색깔을 갖고 있는 광물질이 많이 침전되어 있느냐에 따라서 호수의 색깔은 결정되게 됩니다.
There are colorful lakes that came to be because of one volcanic eruption. These three lakes on top of a mountain change their color to blue, green, or even black as volcanic gas and minerals react. Korea's Lunar Probe heads to the moon. The probe orbits around the moon, creating a map and recording video footage. In order to transmit commands to the probe and receive data, a robust communications network is required. Communications will have to cross the 380,000-kilometer distance between the moon and Earth. This is called deep space communication. It needs a satellite dish with a 27-meter diameter that can send and receive strong waves. Conditions for the location of the dish are also stringent.
초속 14m/s 이상의 바람이 많이 불질 않아야 됩니다. 또 주변에 높은 산이 있으면 안 되는 조건, 또 주변에 그 라디오 방송국이라든지 그 전파 방해, 전파 잡음이 적은 지역이
The Korea Aerospace Research Institute's Lunar Exploration Research Division proposed Pyeongsan, Jeju, Kohung, Kumsan, and Yeoju as possible sites. After additional investigation, Kumsan was selected. Instead of making a new dish from scratch, they will replace the surface and internal equipment of an existing dish. The Research Institute plans to sign an agreement regarding cooperation for lunar exploration with NASA this coming October. Korea's Lunar Probe will carry a payload built by NASA, and in return, NASA will provide support in establishing a ground station for deep space communication.
비용 대비 효과를 많이 얘기합니다만 한미 우주 협정이 맺어졌습니다. 그래서 미국과의 우주 협정은 기술 교류뿐만 아니라 한미 간의 동맹 관계도 굉장히 강화하게.
Korea's Lunar Exploration Probe will launch near the end of 2018. In 2020, Korea will launch a landing probe, and a round-trip mission to the moon is scheduled for 2030.
Wow, if you think about it, we are only 2 years away from Korea's first ever launch of a lunar probe. This is something to definitely look forward to in the near future. Now let's shift gear a little and talk about robots. Did you know there's a new research for flying robots? One group of US-based researchers is working on a model inspired by how insects and birds fly. These robots can be used in places that are difficult to access, including disaster zones. We have more on this shortly, but in our last episode, we actually talked about an artificial film that can help with wrinkles. Similarly, Korean researchers are now uncovering key components in human skin that play a major role in skin aging. How will this affect other skin-related issues? Here are more details on Take a Peek.
Under the blazing sun, people cover their faces with whatever they can find. They meticulously put on sunscreen before stepping into the sunlight. Ultraviolet rays are a main factor behind skin aging. Korean researchers have figured out how exactly UV rays trigger skin aging. The answer lies in two key components, adiponectin and leptin. The researchers compared the skin of old and young people and found that these proteins were in much smaller amounts in the skin of old people who have had far more exposure to UV rays. The researchers also adjusted the amounts of these proteins to see what effects it would have on skin aging. Artificially reducing the amount of adiponectin and leptin resulted in more aging factors. Conversely, increasing the proteins reduced such factors. Adiponectin and leptin have been known to control appetite, but this is the first time that they have been proven to be linked to skin aging.
저희가 피부 노화의 원인이 되는 그런 단백질을 규명을 하였기 때문에 그 단백질을 표적으로 해서 그 아디포넥틴이나 렙틴을 증가시키는 그런 물질이나 그런 기술을 저희가 개발할 수 있게 되고요.
The research and its results were published in the scientific journal, Scientific Reports. Insects use a significant amount of energy to stay airborne. Hence, they rest on trees or plants so they don't have to take off from the ground. A new robot that imitates this tendency has been recently developed. The miniature robot named Robobee and developed by researchers from Harvard University is about as heavy as an actual bee and can beat its wings up to 120 times per second. It has a similar flying pattern as well and even takes a rest. The Robobee uses a separate piece of equipment to generate static electricity before resting on a surface like a wall or a ceiling, thereby saving power. The principle is similar to that of rubbing a balloon on clothes and sticking it to a wall.
궁극적으로는 동력 사용을 좀 절약을 하고 작은 비행체가 움직일 수 있는 거기 때문에 밀림이나 아니면 그 인간이 가기 어려운 그런 환경에서 재난 구조라든가 이런 것들의 활용이 가능하다고 보고요.
The researchers say that Robobee can stick to only specific surfaces for now, but they plan to enhance it so that it can rest on all surfaces. Moreover, its power-saving technology may be applied to larger bodies like drones. Ginger, which has disinfectant properties, is consumed with food that has a strong odor like fish. It's also added to kimchi because of its unique taste and scent. There's also ginger tea.
평소에 제가 몸에 그 차가운 기운이 많기 때문에 생강차를 즐겨하고 있습니다.
Ginger has been shown to have another positive effect. Researchers confirmed through experiments that the compound raffinosa, which gives ginger a slightly sweet taste, prevents the development of biofilms, which are created by microorganisms clumping together. Based on this, ginger can be used to prevent cavities or tooth decay.
치약이라든지 구강청정제, 껌과 같이 껌의 성분에 혼합하여 그 제조를 하게 된다면 충치 예방 식품이라든지 아니면 생활용품을 만드는데 도움이 될 수 있을 것 같습니다.
Moreover, ginger was found to suppress biofilms that result from infections like pneumonia. This could raise the effectiveness of antibiotics that cross biofilms and target infections. The research and its results were featured in the scientific journal, Scientific Reports.
After watching that last story, I just thought about how funny it would be to have ginger toothpaste. I mean, it's going to taste bad, but hey, at least it will help prevent cavities. All right, now that wraps up another episode of our show. I hope you all learned something new today. Remember, we'll be back next week with more from IT and science. Have a great week, and I'll see you back soon. Goodbye, everyone.